Canary Islands explode literally with angry people. These beaches might give you a fine if you smoke in these areas. The tourism update right now at the end of May and the weather forecast for our region of Costa Blanca. Welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Anna, and this is Benidorm News Update. Let's talk about the tourism update first shortly. As you all might know, this is a busy type of season already. It's not a peak season just yet, which is July and August months, but even so, there's plenty of people about and around, and the average occupancy in the hotels in our region is more than 80%. Some of them have a minimum amount of nights of stay established to forbid kind of to book 1 or 2 nights of stay and make sure it's from 3 or from 5 nights onwards. Others are almost at its full capacity and barely have any free rooms left at all as it is. There's plenty of people on the streets everywhere you go. There's people in bars, cafeterias, restaurants, on the beach. Yesterday it was so busy that it was insane. We've had 32 degrees for the first time this year, which was kind of nice, not gonna lie. It was so warm. There were people just in every single open air space. It was crowded with people. There's not gonna be any kind of crazy events right now going on. We just had the Eurovision celebration and Spain was almost the last one. We are in shock. That's the least thing we can say. We are in shock, but we've definitely had better candidates this year. And for some reason, we've stayed with the one that got us almost the last spot. So there we go. Didn't have any luck this year with it, but people still had some fun in Benidorm for the Eurovision celebration. Let's continue with the 2 main news, shall we? And this is about Canary Islands literally exploding. Not literally, like, but people exploding with emotions, with anger, with just the feeling that they cannot do anything with it. They cannot make anything to make it better. And it's just a very bad feeling that many touristic places have. Canary Islands in general receive around 17.7 million of tourists. At least last year, 2024, it was the case, which is, by the way, just hear this out, more than tourism that they've received in Brazil and Dominican Republic combined as 2 countries. Canary Islands, these tiny islands, they've received more than these 2 countries of tourism combined. How insane is that? And people obviously went to the streets. It's not something new. The protests have been going last year, this year for quite a few weeks already. It's been happening, but it's been growing and growing. And the last protest that we've just had, obviously there's dozens and hundreds of people on the streets. Some of them do put very unfortunate signs that could be misinterpreted probably, and they actually were in international newspapers. But people are just protesting not against all tourism. People are protesting against maxified tourism, against the government's way of allowing the tourism. These protests are against government's rules and how things are done. There is literally no space for locals to live in because everything is touristic holiday accommodations. There's no like all year long-term rentals available, and if they are, they have like astronomical prices, like crazy prices. If you want to purchase something, you cannot do that either because there's holiday rentals and the prices are really high too. So people are misplaced into, like, even outside of Canary Islands. Some people have to abandon their islands to go into peninsula to try and search for a place where they can actually afford to live. And it is curious because Canary Islands depend almost 100% on the tourism. This is their main industry. That's almost everything that they have. And if it's not the case, people will lose their jobs. And even so, even though they depend on tourism and it's almost a whole year-long thing, there's a lot of unstable job positions. There's a lot of unemployment, and the jobs that they have are very low paid considered jobs because it's a tourism industry. That's how it sadly goes here in Spain. This is an industry where you do not get a lot of money paid in your salary if you work in there. So people are protesting to improve their life conditions, their work conditions, to make sure the places, the natural places, there's even some beach lines and beach areas are closed due to pollution, due to a lot of litter and garbage in it, and a lot of like creams and things that are being thrown away into the sea. It's just not suitable for bathing anymore. So what they want to do is obviously to have tourism, but have a sustainable tourism up until the limit that they can actually assume. But it's not the only thing that is already causing some cancellations for this summer. We personally have a reservation, by the way, for this summer for Canary Islands. We're heading to Tenerife. If you have any recommendations, please here down below the comment section would be really much appreciated. We're heading to slightly calm and quieter south area, but we want to explore a lot of lovely villages, theme parks, and maybe scuba diving, a lot of different things. So if you have something to recommend or maybe nice places to eat, we'll read you, I promise, here in the comment section. So we will be heading there too, and we didn't cancel our reservation. We do feel safe going there, honestly, so I don't get why people might be canceling. But I know it's a slightly unpleasant situation, and also many people from UK are canceling their holidays there for summer because they've heard somewhere in the groups, somewhere like outside, that there's going to be a new touristic tax in the Canary Islands that you will pay way more. And even though it's not approved, it's not even approved, it's not even a project, it's not even something done, it's just thoughts of some political parties. But people already are canceling because they think it's the case. A lot of people are misinformed, and it's a shame because even though some areas like Mogan, for example, it has a touristic tax of like, legally it can charge a touristic tax of 15 cents, 0.15 cents for person per day, 15 cents. This is not a big amount at all. And if this money goes to a correct direction, if it's contributing the creation of clean spaces, of maintenance, actually, I would not be bothered to pay it. That's way less than one drink. That's way less than one bus ticket. Like, that's not a disproportionate amount of money to actually be paying to make sure that you are visiting a lovely, neat and clean place. Because that's what we all want when we're heading on holidays, right? We want what we were promised. But to maintain it, there's a lot of strength in it, and there's a lot of maintenance and a lot of money involved. So obviously, if we have to contribute to it, if we're going there on holidays, that's fine by me, absolutely. But many people are angry. Many people are saying, and I get it, are saying that holidays are getting really, really expensive. Sometimes they say it's more than £2,000 for a week. But obviously, if you're used to all-inclusive, it's going to be expensive, okay? All-inclusive is expensive. That's how it's been, and that's how it is, and that's how it's going to be probably. Obviously, if you book in advance, if you register as their client in like hotel membership chain as well, to get some points and initial discount, early bird discounts, or like any kind of sales, or Mother's Day, Cyber Monday, or like without any kind of like specific discounts that you get to see, you'll get a nice price and you will be able to enjoy. And if you're flexible with dates, you might be able to save up some money on there too. So difficult situation in Canary Islands. Not as bad on the peninsula, at least right now, but we're not even in peak summer months when Spanish are also on holidays. So we'll see how this summer goes. Now let's continue with the last news, and it is about beach areas in Alicante province. Different towns and villages that are putting more and more signs on these, saying that it's a smoke-free area. And some of them can even issue a fine up to 750 euros if they will catch you smoking. For example, Altea has a free of smoke signs. Albir, our village, also has a free of smoke signs. Benidorm has changed it on the Levante and Poniente Beach also to smoke-free areas. And La Calo Finestrat, right next to Benidorm town, have decided that they might issue a fine of 750 euros if someone will be smoking on the beach. Villajoyosa, more or less the same. Alicante City, a lot of places are putting smoke-free or smoke, like no smoke areas. And that is done because there's a big issue with it. We've mentioned it a couple of times here on the channel, but we literally are getting stopped whenever we're filming on the Levante Beach. And people hear that we're filming the news, especially in English. They come to us and we have to pause the camera because they're literally stopping us to tell us that we need to let people know what is going on, and we need to help and do something with it, to tell it to the town hall basically, that there's plenty of small like pieces, like rests of cigarettes, not sure how they're called, like in Spain it's colillas, like tails of a cigarette, they call it. So like tiny pieces, leftovers of cigarettes that are literally everywhere in the sand. Machines a lot of the times cannot clean them because they're too small, and people, when they're cleaning it up also, they cannot take all of it. So not sure why even people would just bury these things on the sand. Like how difficult it is actually to just throw it away somewhere. There's so many rubbish bins on the beach. That is insane. How and why people are still doing this, I don't know. But this is a big issue on the beach. Like you're walking bare feet and all of a sudden you just step on it, or like children are playing in the sand and they just grab it. It's unpleasant. And it shouldn't be the case. People should not be littering on the beach. Which is why also, if you're with a family, if you're a non-smoker especially, and you have small children and you just lay down on the beach enjoying some nice marine breeze, and all of a sudden the smoke just comes into your face, you know, because a lot of times wind just changes, it just shifts, and it just blows onto you directly. So that is why Benidorm and all the surrounding villages are putting smoke-free signs. Some places do not issue fines. The other ones just really recommend not to smoke in these areas. If there's not many people, that's fine. If there are, we'll just go a few meters down, you know, from the beach and smoke there, you know, especially if there's children around. And don't throw these tails of cigarettes, please, on the beach, because that's really nasty thing. And those of us who are going to the beach, and tourists as well, not only locals, it is so unpleasant to step on these and for them just to get stuck in your fingers and your toes. And also for children to play with the sand that has these things. It is just not good at all. Obviously, this is a slightly problematic topic because there's people who are smokers and there's people who obviously are not. So ones will be happy with it, others will be not. But obviously, each one is more than capable of doing with his life whatever they want to. Those who want to smoke, perfect. Those who do not want to, perfect as well. That's your choice. That's all of our choice. But whenever it comes with littering on the beach and doing it next to other people who are not smokers and small children, that's already a tricky question. And you know, there's a saying here in Spain: your liberty ends when you're touching my liberty, which basically means that you're free to do whatever you want because you're free to smoke or not to smoke. But once it affects my liberty and my choices, that's when yours is done. That's how it's usually said here in Spain, but that actually makes a lot of sense. Once something that you're doing reflects on other people, you should think about other people too, and not only for yourselves. Thus, that's what the town hall thinks as well, and that is why so many more places are choosing to be smoke neutral, especially where there's plenty of people gathering, even if it's an open air, where there's families and children-friendly places. And now let's talk about the weather. What is going on right now? Because the weather has been changing quite a lot. Yesterday we've had 32 degrees. That was bizarre. That was a proper like hot summer day outside. Well, we even had summer clothes on, you know, and we've shown it to you guys. And then today in the morning, we filmed you a video this midday. That's this one right here. And in this video, you can see that it was starting to rain. It wasn't like rain. It wasn't raining, but it was just like drizzling, I think it's called, like dropping. There were drops on the sand every now and then, and it was cold. It was not like winter cold, but comparing with yesterday, it was cold. It was unpleasant to be outside. Some people still went to the beach with a feeling that hopefully it's going to get better. Now it is. Now it's sunny outside and there's barely any clouds at all. So the temperatures recovered and the weather recovered, but it was really like a proper spring, very cloudy and pleasant day outside. So this hopefully is not going to be happening more, at least for now. The only day we are slightly worried in a sense about is Thursday evening at nighttime. It might be raining here in the area, but apart from that, it should be nice, sunny and warm. And the temperatures, by the way, today are like peak 24 degrees. Up until Thursday, it's going to be the same. And then from Thursday onwards, it should be rising up till 25, 28 if we're lucky. Maybe even some of the days will hit 30 degrees here in the region back again. And this is only a few days before June month starts. So we are so wishing for the proper summer to begin, to be able to wear some slippers and proper summer dresses and shorts, and just say that yes, this is finally summer. By the way, the water temperature is already plus 20, so even for us locals, it is a good temperature to go for a light dive into the Mediterranean Sea. Don't forget sunscreen, hydrate yourselves very well with bottles of water, use some sun hats, and explore everything that the region has to offer. Thank you for accompanying us in today's Benidorm latest news. And we'll see you in a new video here on the channel already tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe, because every single week on Sundays, we show you the video of a new breakfast location, if it's worth spending your money or not. We show you hotel inside tours. Every day, videos on midday from the Levante beach and some popular touristic areas, plus your favorite bars, and some more informative videos. So stay tuned. We'll see you in a new video. Bye.